I welcome everyone to the Extraordinary Council meeting for October 2024, being the first meeting of the new term of Council. Pursuant to Council Code of Meeting Practice Policy, 2 public forum sessions will be held during the Council meeting. 1 public forum session will be held following the acknowledgement of Broken Hill's mining history to hear submissions from the public on matters listed for consideration at this meeting and to also hear submissions on general matters. And the other public forum session will be held prior to confidential matters and will consider submissions from the public on matters considered by Council at this meeting only. All councillors undertook an oath or an affirmation at the beginning of their term of office and declared to undertake their duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Broken Hill local government area and the city of Broken Hill, and they will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 and any other act to the best of their ability and judgment. That's what we're about to do. This council meeting is being streamed live via YouTube and recorded and published on Council's website. To those present in the gallery by attending or participating in the public meeting, you're consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The Mayor and/or General Manager have the authority to pause or terminate the stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory, otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour or commentary. Swearing in of the newly elected council. I call on Mr. Jay Nankivell, General Manager, who can conduct the swearing in of the newly elected councils as per the requirement of the Local Government Act.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. The swearing in of the newly elected councils pursuant to Section 233A of the Local Government Act 1993, which requires the newly elected mayor and councillors to either take an oath of office or make an affirmation of office at or before the first council meeting after the council is elected, and this must occur before the general manager. The mayor and councillors have been advised of this requirement and provided with the required statements in preparation for tonight's meeting. For those councillors taking the oath of office, I have a Bible and a Quran available. Mayor Kennedy, can you please stand to confirm whether you are taking the oath of office or making the affirmation of office? Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Please take the oath of office.
I, Tom Kennedy, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of Mayor in the best interests of the people of the city of Broken Hill and Broken Hill City Council, that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretion vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. If you can sign and I'll sign after you. Congratulations on being elected as Mayor of the City of Broken Hill. All right, I'll just come around the room now for each individual council, and it'll be the same process as we just did with the Mayor.
If all councillors could just just get here and we'll get a photo.
Thank you, Mayor and councillors. That now concludes the swearing in of the new council, and congratulations to all the newly and returning elected councillors to the city of Broken Hill. Thank you, Mayor Kennedy.
Thank you, General Manager, and congratulations to all councillors and look forward to 4 years of achieving. Call for apologies with nil. Leave of absence. We have two leave of absence. Councillor Boland submitted a leave of absence application for his meeting, provided the reason away for work. Councillor Turley submitted a leave of absence for this meeting for a prescribed reason. Do we have a mover for the leave of absence to be moved? Councillor Chandler, seconded. Councillor Gallagher, all those in favour? Carried unanimously. Call on Councillor Jim Hickey to do the prayer.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy. Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council, direct and prosper our deliberations for the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Councillor Gallagher.
Yeah, I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land from which we lead, the land of the Winnicali people, and pay our respect to those elders, past, present, and emerging.
Thank you, Councillor Gallagher. Councillor Jewett.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of load. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919 to 1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and future.
Thank you. The first public forum session of 15 minutes will consider submissions from the public regarding matters listed for consideration at this meeting and also on general matters. Public have been advised through notices on council website to register by 4 p.m. today. They wish to address council during the public forum session. Members of the public who have registered to address council will be given preference, and then if time permits, anyone else present in the public gallery may address council. Speakers are allocated 2 minutes to address council. We have received nil registrations. Is there anyone in the public gallery that would like to speak? No? Disclosures of interest. You have any disclosures of interest on matters before the meeting? Nil disclosures of interest. We move to reports. Item number 1, election of deputy mayor. Item number 1, the Broken Hill City Council. Do we have a mover for the reports?
The report.
Moved Councillor Allgate, seconded Councillor Chandler. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. General Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. As returning officer, I advise that one nomination has been received for the position of Deputy Mayor. Councillor Hickey, nominated by Councillor Gallagher and Councillor Chandler. Nomination received 9th of October 2024 at 5:25 p.m. I now call for any further nominations to be submitted prior to the ballot being conducted. None available. As Councillor Hickey's nomination for Deputy Mayor is uncontested, I declare Councillor Hickey re-elected as Deputy Mayor for the period of 9th of October 2024 until the September 2025 council meeting. Congratulations, Councillor Hickey.
Right up here without you. You get lonely. Item number 2 is delegations of functions. Do we have a mover for the delegations of functions? Moved.
I move the recommendation.
Councillor Burns, seconded Councillor Allgate. You wish to speak to that, Councillor Burns? Speak to that, Councillor Allgate?
No, no.
Just for the new councillors, so in there, the functions that have been, as are written, are the functions that are responsibility of the councillors. Some of those functions are being delegated to me as mayor, and some of the functions are being delegated to the general manager. The functions that are being delegated to the general manager allows for the day-to-day operations of the council, just so the new councillors actually understand what that is. So all those functions are responsibility of the council. We have delegated that authority so the general manager can carry out those functions through his role as general manager. Any other speakers? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 3, appointment of delegates to committees for October 2024 to September 25. We have a mover for the recommendation that is written.
Recommendation.
Moved Councillor Allgate, seconded. Deputy Mayor Hickey. Councillor Allgate, would you like to speak to that? Yeah, so we will go through each of the positions that require councillors to be. So first one is our infrastructure and environment standing committee. We have 4 councillors and the mayor. Councillors for infrastructure environment. Yep. So Councillor Allgate, Councillor Hickey, Councillor Gallagher and Councillor Byrne for infrastructure and environment. Community development, we have the mayor and 5 councillors. Councillor Jewett, Councillor Allgate, Councillor Hickey and Councillor Chandler. And I think we've one more, Councillor Gillett. You happy to be on that, Councillor? Finance and governance, 5 councillors and the mayor. So on that, we have Councillor Allgate, Councillor Byrne, Councillor Chandler. Do you know if Councillor Turley's interested in being on any of them?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can. Yeah.
Councillor Boland, and Councillor, will hold a spot open. Righto, got all those. Committee names, age, well and advisory. We have 3 councillors. We have nominations, Councillor Gallagher, Councillor Gillett and Councillor Allgate. Alma Oval.
Just on that, I know Councillor Boland was on Alma Oval, if he wishes to continue, but I wouldn't mind as well. If he,
Well, we can,
As an
if you are interested in that, we are, isn't that one of the committees we're looking at? Right. So if you are interested in that, and Councillor Boland, we'll open that up to 2 councillors. So 2 councillors on that, Boland and Byrne. Broken Hill Heritage Advisory Committee, that at this stage, we're going through readdressing that. The Broken Hill City Art Gallery, do we have Councillor Chandler, Councillor Gillett? Any other councillors for that? Councillor Boland was on that. So I do believe he wants to remain on that. E.T. Lamb Oval Community Committee. Councillor Gallagher, happy to stay on that. Memorial Oval Committee. Councillor Gallagher. If any other councillors, even though it's only one, councillors are interested, please, please say so. The Norm Fox Sporting Ground Committee, Councillor Allgate. Picton Sports Ground Community Committee. Happy with that still, Councillor Gallagher? Youth Advisory Committee, Councillor Jewett. Councillor Chandler. Association of Mining Energy Related Councils. Deputy Mayor Hickey. Australia Day Advisory Group, this is a good one, so Councillor Gallagher. Councillor Byrne. Councillor Jewett. Councillor Jewett. And Councillor Allgate, you interested in that? No, that's all. Australian Floodplains Association, the mayor and an alternate. Councillor Hickey, Deputy Mayor. Australian Mining Cities and Centres Alliance, Mayor and Deputy Mayor as the alternate. Audit and Risk Improvement, Mayor, all councils are invited as observers. Asset Naming Committee, Councillor Allgate. Chandler. Any other? No, Jewett. Aye. Oh, Michael. And a dedicated as an alternate as opposed to. Oh, right, okay. So Councillor Allgate, you're happy to be a designated councillor on that committee, the audit committee? Yep, Allgate. Broken Hill Clubs Grants Committee, Councillor Gallagher. Is he able to as a club? No. No, they've changed it so that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Deputy Mayor Hickey. Broken Hill Education Working Group, Mayor, Deputy Mayor and a councillor. Councillor interested in being on that? Councillor Chandler. Lead Reference Group. We'll hold that one over. Broken Hill Liquor Accord, Councillor Gallagher. Broken Hill Traffic Committee, observer only. Councillor Allgate, you interested in that one? Yeah. Yep, Councillor Allgate. Community Assistance Grants Panel, Mayor, 2 councillors, Councillor Gallagher. Councillor Allgate. Companion Animals Management Working Group, 2 councillors and the Mayor, Councillor Jewett. Councillor Jewett. Country Mayors Association, Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Disability Inclusion Action Plan Working Group, another important one. Councillor Chandler. Any other councillor on that? Councillor Gillett, you interested in that one? It's a really good one. So it really is to make sure that everything's accessible to everyone. Really good group to be part of. And the more people that you talk to that may need, and that can include elderly, not just, so it's a good one if you've got enough people that you can feed India. Yeah, well, you'll do well on that one. EOP Memorial Precinct Project Steering Committee, Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Councillor. Councillor Allgate. Far West Joint Organisation, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, Fruit Fly Control Awareness Working Group. Councillor Hickey. Councillor Chandler. Any other councillor want to be on that? Councillor Jewett. Gateway Sign Advisory Committee, Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Councillor. Councillor Allgate. General Manager's Performance Appraisal, Mayor, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Allgate, Councillor Gallagher. Councillor Allgate. And Byrne. Library and Cultural Precinct Steering Committee, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, Minion Lake. Is that still going? States, stakeholder group. No, it doesn't matter, but, and you want to go on, it hasn't met, but if you're going to do that. Murray Darling Association Region 4, 2 councillors, Councillor Hickey, Councillor Gallagher. New South Wales Public Libraries Association. Chandler, Councillor. Brilliant North Mine Community Consultative Committee. Hickey, Councillor Deputy Mayor Hickey. Project Steering Group for Project Consultative Group, Mayor and Deputy Mayor.
Mayor Kennedy, if I may, will I be able to remain on that as a councillor or as a member of the public?
We can put you on as an extra councillor. We can change that. Yeah. Reconciliation Action Plan Working Group, 3 councillors. Councillor Byrne. Councillor Gillett and Councillor Hewitt. Regional Capitals Australia, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, Regional Cities, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, Silverton Wind Farm Community Consultative Committee, Councillor. Important one. Yeah, Deputy Mayor Hickey. Tidy Towns Working Group, Gallagher, Councillor Gallagher. Councillor. Western Divisions Council, Councillor Gallagher. Yeah, put you back, yeah. Councillor Hickey. Western New South Wales Mining and Resource Development Task Force, the Mayor, Volunteer Working Group, 4 councillors, Councillor Jewett. Councillor Chandler. Deputy Mayor Hickey.
I believe councillor Boland was.
And Councillor Boland.
I'm not sure if he was on.
We'll put him on there. He hasn't done much. He hasn't got many there. Chairperson. Murray Darling Basin nominate Deputy Mayor Hickey. Have a seconder for that. Councillor Gallagher. All in favour for Deputy Mayor to be? Deputy Mayor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anything else? We have a mover and a seconder. All in favour of those that have been appointed. Carried unanimously. Move to item 4, casual vacancy in the office of councillor within 18 months of the 14th of September local government election.
Move the recommendation as written.
I'll second that one.
seconded, Deputy Mayor Hickey. Speak to that, councillor Allgate.
Well, only to say it's just the common sense thing to do. It would be foolish to go through the process we've just gone through and the cost involved. So this would save us, $150,000.
220. 220,000 now, councillor. Yeah, big savings. Yeah, a lot of money. Councillor Gallagher.
No, I just agree, echo the comments of councillor Allgate, and 220,000 is a lot for just the count back. That's what we should be doing anyway.
Councillor Hickey.
Just echo that.
Considering that every ticket still has people on, if anyone from any ticket does remove, then it goes to the next in line and on account back. So pretty fair. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 5, electoral funding obligations and newly elected councillors and mayors. Do we have a mover for the recommendation? Moved Deputy Mayor Hickey, seconded councillor Gallagher. Speak to that, Deputy Mayor. Any councillors? Councillor Allgate?
Through you, councillor, Mayor Kennedy. I think this is pretty important, particularly for the new councillors. It's my understanding that a couple of new councillors last term didn't meet their requirements and might have been fined. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I've heard. Yeah, well, I've heard that they were fined quite severely.
So, what we can do is when we have that training, just make sure that that is brought up at the training as well. Councillor Allgate. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 6, disclosures by councillors and designated persons returns. We have a mover for that.
Move that way.
Moved councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Gallagher. Seconded councillor Gallagher. Councillor Allgate.
Oh, just the same reason. It's important for all the councillors, but particularly the new councillors to understand what their expectations or obligations are.
Thank you. Any other? Okay, all those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 7, adoption of the draft review code of conduct policy. Do we have a mover for that? Moved councillor Gallagher, seconded councillor Byrne. Councillor Gallagher.
Now the report's before us.
Could I,
Councillor Allgate.
through you, Mr. Mayor, could I ask for some clarification?
Yes.
I mean, I've never been in favour, as it's well known, I've never been in favour of the code of conduct in its total form. It's as far as I'm concerned, and it's proven to be what I feel is proven to be right. It's been a piece of policy that has been used as a tool by some to attack other councillors, and likewise a tool for the public to use against councillors or staff. The thing that I'm concerned about on page 235, if it points out quite clearly that in practice rulings, I can read it out, where a respondent and an investigator are in dispute over a requirement under these procedures, either person may make a request in writing to the office of local government, that is, to make a ruling on a question of procedure, in other words, a practice ruling. Where the office receives a request in writing for a practice ruling, the office may provide notice in writing of its ruling and the reasons for it, to the person who requested it, and to an investigator that the person is different. Rather unusual with English. Where the office makes 8.9, where the office makes a practice ruling, all parties must comply with it. The office may decline to make a practice ruling. Where the office declines to make a practice ruling, it will provide notice in writing of its decision and the reasons for that to the person who requested it and to the investigator where the person is different. Then if you go over the page, it talks about sanctions on page 236. 8.19 and 8.20. It just, I just wonder, on the one hand, practice rulings, whatever, if you make a request for a review or a decision from the Office of Local Government on a practice ruling or the procedure followed, whatever the office comes back with must be agreed to or accepted by all parties. However, when the council makes, this is the way I read it, when the council makes a decision in terms of imposing a sanction or a penalty of any form on a councillor based on the decisions of the conduct reviewer, and that person is found guilty, when that guilty person, if in fact they apply to the local government office for a review, if the Office of Local Government finds, and I quote this because I have been in this case, where the Office of Local Government finds the guilty partner innocent of the crimes or the breaches, the council can ignore that and make its own decision. The council doesn't have to follow that resolution. And that's precisely what happened to me when I received a code of conduct. I appealed the decision, the guilty decision. The council found me guilty. I was found by the Office of Local Government to not be guilty because they said the findings and the recommendations would have been totally different had the council provided all the information to the conduct reviewer. So in fact, I was innocent when I asked the council to review their guilty verdict on a previous occasion. It went to a vote of 4-all, and Mayor Turley, who was in the chair at the time, voted against me and found me guilty, even though the Office of Local Government found me not guilty. I don't know whether the General Manager can give me an answer now, but is that your understanding still? Given these recommendations or these rulings?
General Manager.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Yeah, that's that's still the understanding that council, the elected council will still make that final decision for any code of conduct with councillors. It's probably worth noting that it's currently under review, and at the October ordinary council meetings at the end of the month, there'll be a discussion paper brought forward for councillors with the recommendation that we have a briefing and workshop for a response to give feedback to the Office of Local Government, who are currently doing a revision of the Model Code of Conduct and Model Code of Meeting Practice. And from the early conversations that the ministers had with councils, and it's been during that caretaker period, it's to try and respond and correct a lot of these procedural irregularities that have occurred over that period of time. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, General Manager.
Could I just say in response to that, that's my understanding as well. But the thing is that I find that as councillors, we're always told that the Office of Local Government is the Office of Local Government. They are the final adjudicators. They're the people that tell us what we should and shouldn't do. They, in turn with the minister, make all the rules and regulations. And yet, when it suits a council, the council can override that organisation's decisions. That in itself seems totally wrong to me and unjust.
It is definitely unjust, but the reality is councils do make their own decisions. What is disappointing, Councillor Allgate, is when councillors are corrected and proven that the investigators were incorrect, and when councillors don't change their decisions on the advice of the Office of Local Government. That's what's unjust. As a body, we do make our own decisions, and you'd hope that councillors, no matter who they are, no matter where they're elected from, would do the right thing. And that's not always what happens. But that is why some councils get sacked, because they don't follow the rules and the procedures. And that can happen. So when you get advice and you go down that road and the issue you were talking about was totally wrong. We know it was wrong and it wouldn't hold up in a court. It wouldn't hold up anywhere else, but the Office of Local Government can't force councils to do things. The only way they can do it and when talking to them is when the council goes into disrepute and they sack them. That's the only time they overrule councils. With the practice note is when there is a procedural matter brought up, for example, and as councillors, we've been put on codes of conduct. Most cases found not guilty, lots of wasted money. But those practice notes are things like when they breach international law and you put it to the Office of Local Government, the Office of Local Government will come back and say, yes, a practice note is put, you cannot do that, including procedural fairness.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the last two meetings we've had with the Minister for Local Government, he in particular has been most outspoken about the inequalities in the code of conduct. And let's hope that the new model that comes out, or the reviewed model, has got some at least some justice in it.
I'd hope so. All those councillors in favour? Carried unanimously. Move on to item number 8, draft code of meeting practice policy for public exhibition. Do we have a mover for that? Moved councillor Byrne, seconded councillor Allgate. Councillor Byrne, you'd like to speak to that?
Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment. Obviously for the motion. I was wondering if, because it's going to go to a public display, and I reckon I know the answer to this already, but will we reconsider the last council's decision to stop online meeting practices? I'm well aware of that. We're all here for a reason. We put our hand up and we're working for the people of Broken Hill. But tonight, in the last probably a couple of council meetings, the last council, people could have been there and been engaged and had the opportunity to contribute as well. So I was just wondering if that is something that's got some appetite or not at all.
You can move an amendment and I probably won't get passed, I'd say, but with the argument, if you'd like to move an amendment for that though, that it be put that the recommendations 1, 2, 3, 4, that it be that the policy be amended to include online.
Yep, I'd like to make an amendment. Possible.
Yep. So number 5 to include online. Do we have a seconder for that? The motion lapses. Item number 8. Is there any other speakers to that? Just for the new council. So the only changes in there are the name of our standing committees and some. That's about it, and some wordings here and there. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 9, adoption of the revised councillor support policy. We have a mover for that. Moved councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Jewett. Just for everyone, the changes in there mostly are to do with council's credit card, using the credit cards for payments. Any other speakers? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 10, adoption of the draft revised council and staff interaction policy. Do we have a move for that? Moved councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Gallagher. Councillor Allgate.
I think it's a good policy, to be honest. At least councillors and staff know exactly where they stand. There's been so many changes and so many different interpretations given over the years, but it's refreshing to see a quite clear policy. And I think it's good for the staff and good for the councillors and good for the community.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. Any other speakers? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 11, councillors' attendance at the Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference to be held in Tamworth, 17th and 19th of November, and cancellation of the November 2024 standing committee meetings. So I'll just remove myself from going to that. And we have I think we, at least two more councillors would like to go to that. Councillor Gallagher? No, can't make it. Councillor Chandler? Councillor Gillett? And Councillor Jewett? Voting delegates? Deputy Mayor Hickey? Can't go. No, I think Councillor Boland's got that. He will be ready. So we add Councillor Boland to that. Councillor Boland as a voting delegate and Councillor Chandler. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 10, public forum session. The second public forum session of 15 minutes will consider submissions from the public regarding matters that were considered by council at this meeting only. Speakers are allocated 2 minutes each to address council. Is there anyone that from the gallery that like to speak? No. That is the conclusion of the meeting. As there is no further business for council to consider, I declare the extraordinary council meeting